Bonjour! Welcome to another episode of Cuisine Michelle. I am Michelle. So tonight I am going to be trying a recipe that, well, I should be preparing a recipe. It's not trying. I've done this recipe before. And these are for chocolate Andes mint cookies. And this is number 11 in our Christmas countdown. Let's get started with the ingredients list. We have all-purpose flour, cocoa powder. This is the natural. This is not the Dutch. I mean, you could use Dutch, but you should use the natural because we are also using baking soda, salt, unsalted butter, butter flavored Crisco, regular sugar, light brown sugar, and of course it's going to be packed, vanilla extract, 2 eggs, and of course, we have to have our Andes mint chips. So before we start in with everything, make sure that you get your oven heated to 350 degrees Fahrenheit, and we're going to line our baking sheets with parchment. To start the recipe, I've measured out in a small bowl 2 1/4 cups, which is 270 grams of all-purpose flour. To that, I'm going to be adding 2/3 cup of the cocoa powder, one teaspoon of baking soda, and 1/4 teaspoon of salt. Just gonna whisk those together real quick. And if you're liking this video, please go ahead and click that like for me. Give me that thumbs up. I'm looking for those. I always appreciate getting likes on my videos. All right, we're going to set that aside for a moment. And then we're going to head to the stand mixer. I've already put the 1 stick, which is a 1/2 cup of unsalted butter in there. To that, I'm going to be adding a 1/2 cup of the butter flavored Crisco, as well as 3/4 cup of regular sugar, and 2/3 cup packed of light brown sugar. We're going to mix those all together until they're light and fluffy. Once we plug in the mixer. Next, we're going to mix in 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract and our 2 eggs. Now, we're going to start mixing in our dry mixture. We probably will only be able to do some of this in the mixer, and then we'll have to switch to doing it by hand. I'm going to do the rest by hand. All right, now we're going to add in the entire package, which is 10 ounces of Andes mint chips. If you don't have the mint chips, you could always, of course, get Andes mints themselves and just chop them all up. I don't feel like doing that kind of work, so I buy the package that's already done for me. Smelling minty and wonderful already. And while we're getting this dough all mixed together right here, if you could leave me a comment, I would love to know like where you're watching from or something like that, or how you feel about Andy's chips, if you've ever used them, all those kinds of things. You don't have to have tried a recipe to leave me a comment. I love anything you have to tell me about my viewers. I love to get to know you all better. Right, now that we've got that mixed up, we're going to be putting it on our prepared baking sheet. I'm going to use my cookie scoop to portion out the cookies here. I'm not completely filling it, just like kind of almost filling it because I don't want these to come out too large. And then we're going to be putting these in the oven to bake for, I believe, 10 minutes. Yes, 10 minutes, or until, of course, they are finished. These have just come out of the oven. I went the exact 10 minutes. And for these, it says we are to take and put them directly on our cooling racks to cool completely. Here we are at final plating. Now there is still another batch behind me there and another finishing out the oven. So there's actually 4 batches total. It smells fantastic. So let's give a taste test here. Mmm. Mm-hmm. Mm. They're so nice and minty, and they're very soft cookies. They're kind of cake-like actually. So these have more of a cakey texture to them, but they're really delicious. And I totally recommend that you try them. As I was saying earlier, we'd love it if you give it a like and comment, and definitely subscribe to the channel and share with your friends. We'll see you next time. Au revoir.